Welcome along to episode 884 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. On the way on the show this week, Alexis Q has a bit of a natter about her latest music as she popped into the studio. We'll be finding out what's going on with Beau Bowen and their latest songs. We chat with one of the stars of Wolverhampton Pride as Samira Hills joins us to let us know about her music. We'll also be having a chat with James Hoyles and Trevor the Iggy, all about what we could do if we could actually talk to our pets. And we talk cats as well. Izzy Hocking joins us from Cats Protection to let us know how cute can be a problem. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
Now, Alexis Q has a current album, The Pyjama Sessions, impressing people with her amazing vocals, wonderful songwriting, and just out-and-out fantastic musicianship. She's with me now to tell me about that and some forthcoming work. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
All good here. It's good to finally meet you in real life.
Really?
It's
been a while.
It's been about 15 years that we've been sort of talking on and off about bits of your career. You were very young. You were very young when you started
Extremely.
this. Yeah, child star, basically. But, I mean, your musical journey is an amazing one, isn't it? And you're here, there and literally everywhere, from the US through UAE, through everywhere else, and touring throughout the UK and Europe. This is a labour of love, and one where the love comes back with the songs.
It definitely is. It's hasn't been planned. It's been an organic movement, and I'm just enjoying sharing music, making and sharing music.
That music itself, though, I mean, it's got that thing, the tingle factor when you sing, and your voice is phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
And I think it's the fact that it's the whole package as well, because you get involved in everything through video production. I mean, you're not a one-man band; you're part of a team, but you are certainly the leader in all areas.
Yes, at the helm. The thing is, being an independent artist, you find that you don't have this huge machinery behind you, like artists who are signed to the major. And you find that you have to kind of manage everything. But the key for me has been collaborating with people who come to the table with so much talent, so much experience. And I couldn't do it without them.
Through that, joining together of great minds and brilliant talent, we get the work that you've done over the years. And whilst your music has definitely evolved in the time I've known you, you've still got that sound at the core that's very you.
Yeah, I think it is normal for the music to kind of grow with me and grow with my life experiences. But at the heart of everything is truth and transparency. I've always written about things that I personally experienced and will continue to do so. And I think that by sharing my stories, I can hopefully find an audience of people who have had similar experiences, and this music resonates with them in a profound and true way.
Now, we were talking before we started having a chat,
yes.
And basically you were telling me about a song that sort of arrived with you, literally almost complete in your head at 3 a.m. this morning. I mean, what was going on there?
I don't know what's going on. Anyone who has dealt or lived with a songwriter understands that these inspirations come to you and they haunt you almost like a spirit until you can put it down in some tangible way. And sometimes it comes just the melody, sometimes it's a refrain, a hook, or a chorus of some sort. But this last night, about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I heard this whole song from top to bottom and the lyrics. And I had to get to the piano and I had to play it out. And I grabbed a microphone, set it up. This is a wonderful thing about recording at home. And just did a rough guide. Then I went back and I did some doubles and sent it to my drummer and keyboard players, and I just got messages back from them asking, "Hey, this is a great one. Nah, you couldn't have done this in 10 minutes, and don't you ever sleep?"
Your mind doesn't stop. So even when you're sleeping, you're writing songs.
It doesn't. I mean, when it comes, it comes. Mind you, there are periods where it's just silence. But recently, I've written maybe about 33 songs in the past month. And
I know you've got another album that you're going to record, but 33 songs is at least 3 albums worth.
Well, some of them are really, really great. Some of them are okay, and some of them need a lot of work. But of these, I'm probably going to select the best 10 to 12 for the new album project.
And again, that's, I suppose, the joy of it. You get to choose from those songs. I mean, I'm sure they will all be fantastic.
I hope so.
And but what you can do is you can find a theme through and tell a story through an album. Again, you as you said already, you're a storyteller, aren't you?
Yes, I'm a storyteller, and I believe in recording albums. I understand the importance and the necessity for releasing singles for some artists, because albums cost. It's expensive, and if you're an independent artist, it's easy to put out a single and to keep yourself relevant. But I struggle with this need to put together a body of work. I want people who so choose to sit down and listen to the album from start to finish. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a reason why we put the songs in a certain order. There's a reason why, you know, we put this body of work together. It's like watching a film. You know, you don't want to watch just the highlight reel. You want to sit and watch the entire thing. And for me, music is that way, you know, and maybe I'm hardwired to be old-fashioned in that regard, but this is who I am, and this is who I will continue to be.
but this is why, you know, even in this day and age, there's a Spotify playlist. It may be a physical CD.
Yes.
However it is it's delivered, you can still share it the way the artist intended.
Yes, and I hope that it continues to be that way.
Obviously, you're getting ready for another session in the studios. You're working over here and until the latter part of June, and some of that time is going to be down at Abbey Road in London.
Yes, I have had a wonderful experience with them, with the team there at Abbey Road for the last album, and we're going to try to do as much work as we can there as well this time around. It's very unusual for me to be promoting an album while recording another album and touring at the same time. Insanity? Yes.
But I love the fact that you're chilling out in Staffordshire whilst this happens, because when you're in the UK, you've got a Staffordshire base.
Yes. We're on a farm, and this is where I come to write, and just for the peace and quiet, and to be with my family and some friends.
And I like the fact you nip into Wolverhampton and enjoy shopping here when you want to, that sort of thing. Is that the plan for after we've had our chat today?
Yeah, I'm going to look around. This is actually my first time here. Mm-hmm. I've driven through and just saw the signs, but I've never had a chance to actually walk around city centre. And so, you know, I want to see it.
Yeah, explore a little bit, and it's nice to have you here. We really appreciate that, and for the fact that, I mean, a lot of the time is spent in Dubai, and yeah, that's the other family home, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, my husband and family, and we're all UAE based, which doesn't feel much different from England, because I go there and I see lots of English people. I come here, I see lots of them, so it's the same.
and the temperature we've had over recently,
temperature a little different. Yeah, yes, with the heat recently.
Having been to Dubai and stayed there a few times, I know the temperature is hotter over there.
Yes.
And I'm glad you're enjoying your time back here in the UK,
I
and
love it.
the fact that you're going to be working with the amazing team at Abbey Road, bringing in your musicians to work with you, yes, and bring the next album to life. Does it have a working title? Not yet.
But I will be sharing that with you the moment we do.
We look forward to that. Meanwhile, we're going to take a listen to one of the tracks from the Pyjama Sessions now. So, what are we going to hear?
Let's start with Forbidden.
Okay, we'll take a listen to this. Alexis Q, always good to talk to you. Thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
And I do adore your music, and I'm going to enjoy listening to this with you now.
Thank you so very much.
Knows what tomorrow brings, and where do we go from here? Who knows what tomorrow brings, and where do we go from here? Eyes across a crowded room, each precious stolen glance. Hours feel like seconds that we steal at every chance. You draw the pictures from your mind of the way our life could be. A perfect love that holds us close for all the world to see. Forbidden love, 'cause there's just no one else for me.
The wonderful Beau Bowen are doing their thing once more. This time, it's No More Crying. That's the title of the track, and they're with me now to share news on the music. How you doing, both?
All right, thank you, Jason, and you?
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, all good here. So, what's been going on then? Because there's been quite a lot happening in your world, hasn't there?
Lots and lots of music video shooting, some great shows. We recently had our London headline show at the Hope and Anchor, which was just wonderful. And yeah, a huge release schedule this year. So recently, No More Crying came out, which I'm sure we'll talk about today. And also our new single, Holding Me Back, which is going towards our new EP, Anthemania, that is coming out on the 10th of July.
So it is actually full on, and
Full on.
But we expect nothing less, to be fair. And there's been I've spotted the amazing guitars popping up with all sorts of interesting news around them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, CJ will talk to you about that.
Yeah. Well, they're just coming thick and fast, and I'm really enjoying getting as experimental as possible with the designs.
And yeah, it's part of the look. If there's one thing we've got to do, is we've got to tempt you into the Midlands to perform a gig, so we can all come and see you live as well as enjoying the music. But you're very much a visual band. It's about the music, but it's the delivery of the look that comes with it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I think we've maybe talked about this before, but certainly one thing I feel is, you get people who love music, you get people who like music but aren't necessarily musical, and then you get the people who love the spectacle. And so what we're doing is creating things that are visual metaphors for Beau Bowen's music. It all says everything together. They unite. So, for example, people, they're intrigued by the electric guitar. They don't necessarily know a lot about it, but they come along to a show. They see the spark guitar, they see the yellow or the pink, and they just go, wow. And then they really understand it. So wouldn't you say that the spark guitars are visual metaphors for the music? I certainly do.
Yeah.
And CJ, obviously, the way you both work together is important, and I think that's something that has really been borne out since you evolved into Beau Bowen as you are today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good team, yin and yang, the both of us. So yeah,
I couldn't do it without him, and I feel so blessed that we have such a united musical mind together. When you become one, we really understand each other's visions, and I can't, words really don't help or explain how amazing it is that we have this connection together, as well as being married and loving one another. I couldn't have dreamed for such a blessing.
And the music just sort of adds to that, doesn't it?
I would say so. When we don't argue, I find it funny though, because we do argue about very semantical things. For example, whether a note should be in one passage or not. And I actually, when you come out the other side and you've made the decision, I find it endearing, the little petty. Well, they're not petty actually. We see them as very important. But arguments over one note here or there. I think it's endearing that we care so much about it. You can never take that for granted, the passion that we actually have for the music, can you? I mean, it is quite funny.
Yeah, but passion is what it's all about, and you get that comes across, and whether it be the look that draws someone into a particular song from the video or something, or whether it is the song that draws them in first. There's different avenues and paths in. As you said, it's about getting that moment where somebody finds the hook.
It's very, very true. It's very, very true. Uniting, bringing everybody together, making people feel special as well, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen the Beau Bowen mannequins making an appearance in music videos of late, and on the Insta. So what layers and textures are we looking for with the current music releases?
Musically, they're very powerful, they're very upbeat, they're anthemic, hence the title of the EP, Anthemania. And I think it's a real rich vein that we're in at the moment. We've really come into a stride and developed I think a really recognizable and powerful sound. And I think we're just really enjoying fulfilling that at the moment. We've got several tracks that we're putting together to do a larger scale release in the future, and yeah, we're very, very excited to bring it forward.
Yeah, I mean, our style is always very distinctive. It always has been since we came together. But obviously, naturally, like all artists, there's always a progressive motion that goes forward, and you refine your sound, you refine your ideas, and it's very, very exciting. With for example, the amount of archive music and the back catalogue of our written music together this year. It feels very, very exciting in terms of the schedule of the releases and, this Anthemania EP. We've actually got another single coming out on the 19th of June. Can I say too much about it or not?
Yeah, go on.
It's just so much music. We're here talking about No More Crying, but we've got, so much. So Rainbow Bridge. So
it's the ultimate summer anthem that I think all of your listeners really ought to make their summer hit.
Yeah, so the 19th of June, Rainbow Bridge is coming out.
And at the moment, our most recent release is Holding Me Back, which is just a rebellion against everything that is holding you back in your life. And it's a fantastic, upbeat, energetic single. And all of these are subsequent to No More Crying that we're here promoting today.
Yeah, so No More Crying is obviously the first track of the EP.
And it is the first one because when we wrote that, we really felt that it was a sort of flag in the ground of who Beau Bowen is at the moment and what we're doing.
And I think as well, making people feel really empowered. When people come to a Beau Bowen show, or indeed any fantastic music show, one of the greatest joys I find when I'm singing my heart out to people is seeing people feeling wonderful. And there is that old saying that my father would always say to me is, you're not as good as your last gig, you're only as good as your next gig. And that really keeps you on your toes because you should never take your fans for granted. I feel certainly before we go and we do a show, my emotions are so heightened because you can't see the singing voice, can you? You can only feel it. It's a very, very emotional space. That's something that I've always found, a very emotional space. So when you see people that have actually made the effort to come forward and make the effort to come and see your show, it's the most amazing feeling on earth, and we will never ever take that for granted. Everybody, because we have a wonderfully diverse fan base, embracing that and continuing that is so important. Treasuring the people who love your music and the intimacy of your music that translates and connects with the people. Wouldn't you say?
And all that with merch as well. I'm still loving the merch.
Oh yes, well actually we've got a little announcement coming up in the coming days.
Got these t-shirts that I think are right there.
You can see a tiny sneak peek there, but they'll be up on the website. So
and so much more besides, because there's vinyl on there as well, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. With some of our first records actually that we did have for a while on streaming platforms, but we pulled them back at the moment just to give a bit of mystery, but we've still got CDs and vinyls from those first couple of albums that we released.
Yeah.
So check all of that out. BeauBowen.com is where we start there. On the socials, Beau Bowen, on everything?
Yeah, Beau Bowen are we. So that's at BeauBowenArewe. At Beau Bowen are we.
And you can find out what's going on there. There's always some amazing visuals. There's links to the music, and there is a magical world you enter into when you become part of the collective that is Beau Bowen's musical fan base. Have an amazing time. We'll listen to that lead track on the EP, and we'll get a flavour for what's going on with No More Crying. But for now, Montgomery and CJ, Beau Bowen, thank you for joining us.
Bless you, and you too. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy this warmth. Not too many flies.
No more shadows everywhere.
Now, if your pet could talk, what would it reveal about you? Would it be gossiping with the other animals around and about? To tell us more, I'm joined now by James Hoyles and his canine companion, Trevor the Iggy. Good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm good, Jason. How are you doing today?
All good here. Now, has Trevor uttered any words that have been discernible yet?
This morning, yes, I had to get him up quite early today. We had to be out of the house. He usually wakes up about 10 o'clock,
Hmm.
and he was about 8 today, so he wasn't too happy about that.
So I had something to say there.
He had something to say, definitely a couple of barks, a few judgmental looks here or there, a few side eyes, might you add. He's currently giving the sad look now, actually, because he doesn't want to sit here. He wants to
Okay.
lie on the bed.
Well, I can understand that. I get that myself. And hopefully, he'll nestle in a moment or two's time and chill. And and
Yes,
and
absolutely.
uh, and Iggy. Now, this is a greyhound. This, but not quite the size we're used to seeing in the UK.
Yes, absolutely. So he's known as an Italian greyhound. It's a completely separate breed. So you got your greyhounds, which are your big ones, your X races that I think people recognise mostly, and then you've got your Whippets, which are a bit smaller. You also have Salukis, which are pretty big as well. And then you've got Italian greyhounds, which are actually a toy breed. They were bred originally for companions for
Hmm.
kings and queens. Well, actually for queens. So kings would have big dogs, and then a toy dog like an Italian Greyhound would be the companion to the Queen. So he is actually the companion for like Egyptian royalty and such. So that's what he was originally bred for. So he is now 4.7 kilos and he is fully grown. Fully grown.
Well, he's an absolute cutie. So it's great to have him part of this survey because I mean, Petgevity have been highlighting how far pet owners' imagination stretch when it comes to hearing from their pets, and
Mhm.
it's intriguing research because I mean, 54% often wish they could have a proper conversation with their pet. Now, I'm
Yeah.
sure that Trevor gets proper conversations with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. To be honest, I'm actually quite surprised by the statistics. I genuinely thought it would be a lot higher. I from all the friends that I have, they all speak to their pets. I absolutely speak to Trevor on a daily basis. I like to think that I know exactly what Trevor is thinking and what he is, and he knows what I'm thinking as well. But yeah, I think the reason why I do it is I think it's just born out of this curiosity of wanting to understand your pet, wanting to get to know them better, and I think that's because we want to develop a stronger relationship, a stronger bond with our pets. I kind of see Trevor as a child, well, as my child, really. And I think when you have a child, you want to understand them, you want them to be heard, you want them to live the best quality life as possible. And that's exactly what I want with Trevor.
Mhm. Obviously, quite content sat where he's sat at the moment,
Hmm.
and obviously you get to know each other. And they say I think the pet does know you,
Hmm.
and they will react as to how you want to react, and maybe run off and go and have a lie down on the bed as they see fit.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
absolutely, absolutely. And this is the thing. I mean, do you have a pet, Jason? Are you a dog owner or a cat owner?
I'm not. It's not my thing, unfortunately.
Nope, that's absolutely, absolutely fine. It's not for everybody, but I do think as a nation of Brits, I think we are animal lovers, we are pet lovers.
Hmm.
Um, and look, I spend, and I think most people would agree with this. I think I spend more than half of my time wondering what Trevor is thinking and what Trevor is feeling. And if I could have a conversation with him, I absolutely would love to have one, even if it was just for 10 minutes. So I think with Petrivity, they've done this survey where they've polled 2,000 dog and cat owners, basically just exploring and finding out what burning questions owners would like to ask their pets if they had their chance. So things like, are you happy with your life? Do you like me? And I think another big question which a lot of people asked is, do you judge me as well? Now, speaking from my own experience, Trevor judges me on a daily basis. Um, but yeah, I think if the burning question that I have for Trevor, if I could speak to him, Trevor likes to bark. He's quite vocal, as we've seen from his social media, but even though I like to think that I can interpret what he's saying, I would like to ask him if I had the chance, what when you bark at other dogs or a scooter, what's going through that mind of yours? What are you actually thinking? Is it coming from a place of fear? Is it coming from a place of just play? You can kind of get an idea from body language, but yeah, I would love nothing more than to know exactly what my dog is saying to me.
But do you think he'd be a bit of a comedian as well?
Oh yeah, 100%, absolutely. Like I think one of the questions from the poll was, what does if your dog spoke with an accent, what would he sound like? And I always think Trevor would be a bit like Scrappy Doo. If Scrappy Doo was a comedian, he definitely has that energy energy about him. Currently, right now, you can't actually see, but he's deadlocked on a seagull. And right now, I'm wondering to myself, what is he thinking in this moment? Does he want to go for it? Is he scared of it? Oh, he's looked at me now. He's going, oh, yeah. But yeah.
So yeah, I mean, seagulls themselves. I mean, they're an intriguing thing, and also you wonder what animals think of other animals. I mean, they get the idea that they're part of our family. Dogs definitely do. Cats,
Yeah.
vary a little bit, but
Mm,
when it comes to it, he knows where food comes from. He knows who to obey, and
yes.
he also knows he will offer an opinion as well sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's a really interesting conversation actually around, Italian greyhounds themselves, they have social anxiety, or they can have social anxiety. So they kind of got deem the term Velcro dog. So Trevor's quite attached to me. I always wonder, why is he attached to me so much? Is it because he feels, safe with me? Does he love me? Does he actually care about me? Or is it just because he knows with me he gets security, he gets resources, he gets food, he gets water? And actually, if I was to give him to someone like you, Jason, and you to take him away, would he actually miss me? Would he actually care? Because he would get all the same things with you, Jason, as he would with me. And I think that's a really interesting question. And you've already kind of touched upon it, cats as well, isn't it? We always talk about cats kind of being a bit more aloof than dogs. Dogs, live to please, but with a cat, you have to earn their respect. You have to earn their love. And I think that in itself is really, really interesting too. I think all of this is just born out of a place of wanting to be closer to your pets.
Hmm.
I see Trevor as part of my family, and I think for a lot of pet owners around the world, I think they treat their animals, their pets, like one of their own, like a family member. I think some people would even admit that they love their animals more than some of their family members.
So certainly more than some of the friends, for definite. But
Yeah, absolutely.
where do we go to find out more about the survey from Petgevity? And of course, I see you online as well with your time with Trevor.
Yeah. So they can find me online. We're on a multitude of different social media platforms. As our Pet Charity, we are on Facebook. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube. They can find the survey online, and they can have a look at it themselves. I just want to point out one other question which I think was on the survey, which I thought was quite an interesting topic, was this idea of neurodivergency around dogs
Yeah.
and cats. 18% of people in the survey admitted that they actually wondered if their dog or cat was neurodivergent. And I think that's really interesting because, neurodivergency is within humans. It could also be with animals and pets. Pet Charity have an amazing podcast that's come out, and the latest episode that they've released this week is about neurodivergency. So people can look at it on there, or they could just look at the podcast in general if they want to learn more about Pet Charity and pet insurance and what they do.
Absolutely. We don't need to look after our pets, make sure they're kept safe, and make sure they've got their own
Yes.
version of a health service to look after them. So
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
vitally important. Otherwise, it gets costly, and you feel guilty if you can't do what you need to do for them as and when you need to do it.
Absolutely. I think pet insurance is a really big part of, when you get a pet, isn't it? You want to plan for them to live a very, happy and healthy life. I think a lot of people want their dogs and cats to live forever. So pet insurance is just part of finding that. And pet charity are a great option for people.
Well, James Hoyles and the now elusive Trevor the Iggy, who's wandered off somewhere to make the most of his life. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jason, for having us.
Wolverhampton Pride takes place on Saturday, the 6th of June. It is going to be a huge event, starting off in the city centre, making its way through to West Park, and then there's going to be an afternoon into the evening of amazing entertainment. Somebody who is part of the last block on stage from around 6 through to 8 o'clock is Samira Hills, who joins me now to tell us what she's got in store. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
All good here. And are you playing a number of Pride events throughout the whole of June and beyond?
I am. I'm very lucky this year to have the opportunity to play a few Pride events. It's one of my favourite events to play. I just feel at home there, and the support is always incredible. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Well, you'll be bringing your music to the stage. Tell us a bit about what you enjoy performing.
So I kind of refer to myself as a sparkly synth pop artist. I like making music about people that deserve to have songs written about them,
Hmm.
good or bad. Um, Very anthemic, empowering. I kind of encourage my listeners to dance through their pain. So that's what I'll be bringing to Wolverhampton, and I can't wait.
Dance, sparkle, you've got it all.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I mean, it must be great though, because I mean, you'll be doing a number of these events. People will have seen you at other stuff too. They know you're part of the lineup, particularly now, and it's a chance to sort of revise some of your music, so they're ready to sing along in the choruses.
Yes, absolutely. I can't wait. I've been heavy on social media this year and I've had so much support, especially from LGBTQ plus groups. So as I say, to be at an event that celebrates those people is going to be, yeah, it's going to be amazing. And I can't wait to share new music, unheard music, old music. I'm excited.
And when you're part of an event like this, whatever festival it is, there is always a buzz about getting on that stage. The feeling in the green room, part of the warm up. I mean, WCRFM is going to be broadcasting from behind the scenes, and it's going to be great to be able to meet some of the artists who are playing throughout the day. Based on timings, you might arrive a little after we've gone, which is why it's so important we talk to you now to find out about your tunes. But it's the festival thing. I mean, that is part of the. This is the payback for being an artist, isn't it? I mean, the feeling that you get when you do this.
Yeah, I can't wait. And summertime as well. I think it's just going to be so joyous and euphoric, and that's what LGBTQ plus spaces should be, because living as your authentic true self is authentic and is euphoric.
Well, it is going to be an amazing event. Obviously, as you said, you're writing, performing your songs. How will it work on the day? Will you have any of your backing musicians with you, or are they arriving pre-recorded so you can strut your stuff and take up the whole stage?
Just me on the day,
Hmm.
but I'm bringing the energy, I'm bringing the attitude, I'm bringing the gayness, and it's going to be a great show.
And shed loads of
It's going to be a
sparkle
great
to
show.
boot, I'm going to guess.
Absolutely. It's all about having fun, dancing, being loud, proud, queer, having fun. That's what a Samira Hills show is and what
Well,
it's going to be in Wolverhampton.
sounds absolutely phenomenal. Where do people find your music? So, as I say, they can know what they're expecting and sing your songs back to you at the same time.
Yeah, I'm on all major streaming platforms. It's just Samira Hills, SAMIRAHILLS. And as I say, follow me on social media as well. I'm posting every day. I'm always sharing new snippets of music, behind the scenes, making other songs, that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely I'd love as many people as possible to come and follow my journey to taking over the world, one pop song at a time.
You do it, you take that world on and share your music, your thoughts, and the enjoyment of being part of your musical world all at the same time. It is Wolverhampton Pride. It is free to enter. It is taking place in West Park on Saturday, the 6th of June, around 6 p.m. So Samira will be on stage. Samira Hills, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, it seems that social media's cute cat culture could be causing problems. To tell us more about the concerns surrounding designer cats, I'm joined now by Cat Protection's Izzy Hocking. Good afternoon.
Hi, Jason. Thanks for having me.
Well, good to talk to you. Now, obviously, concerning situation when pets become accessories rather than one of the family. And unfortunately, the way we're seeing things online can cause this to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So Cats Protection's recently done a survey where we've really noticed kind of trends are changing in terms of how people choose what pets to get. We found that more than 1 in 5 owners have said they were influenced by celebrities or social media influencers when it came to choosing what sort of cat to get. And unfortunately, those people who had been influenced were also much more likely to get a kind of purebred cat with extreme features that unfortunately, like you said, those unique and cute traits that we associate with breeds can cause major health issues for cats down the line.
Yeah, well, we see this in many animals. It's almost as if these things have been bred in, they become purebred, the genetics go a bit awry. We think they look cute, but they probably can't breathe properly.
Yeah, exactly. And some of them, like you say, we think they're cute. Scottish fold cats, these cats with folded ears, they've got a great reputation of being lovely, gentle cats. But a big part of that is because they're prone to horrible bone condition called osteochondrodysplasia that essentially means they live in chronic pain. So the reputation for being cute and cuddly and nice is actually a really sad thing as a result of chronic pain.
Chronic pain causes independence, and whilst we want them to be, part of the family and, be someone who is dependent on us for their food, etc., we don't want it to be because they're actually suffering. And yeah, it's through the perpetuation of these sort of cute looks that are keeping these breeds going and in the absolute extreme, isn't it? And whilst yes, naturally, if we let a breed die out because it wasn't healthy, that's one side of things. But equally, we don't want to be forcing animals into this world just to suffer.
Yeah, definitely. And we do have a responsibility, to do right by animals. And I mean, the other thing to say is it's not just upsetting for the cat if they've got a kind of life of pain and hardship, but it's sad for owners too. You form a real bond with them, and then if they're more prone to health problems throughout their life, that's going to be really distressing for their owners as well. So we would always advise people to, you know, it's natural to scroll and think, oh, that's really cute, but do your own homework, do your own research, go to reputable sources, and actually understand what the right cat for you is.
But equally, it's not just the genetics that are of concern here as well, because we're seeing other trends too. Now, the one that I always thought looked particularly uncomfortable was a cat in a bubble backpack, and I can't imagine what it thinks is going on. Because if we were to be stuck in something like that, probably particularly on a hot day, we would not be happy. Even though these may be vented, it's still not an ideal way to travel. It's worse than the commute in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And my experience as a vet in practice was I could always tell the cats that had arrived in a bubble backpack, their heart rate was always going like the absolute clappers. It's a really stressful experience for them, especially, if a cat's only ever lived indoors. It's really unpleasant for them to be out in the world completely out of, without control, just being carted about the place. And like you said, often they're really badly ventilated. And yeah, it's just not, it's cute, but it's not cat friendly.
Yeah, certainly. It's almost like getting stuck under the duvet when you're trying to keep warm. You still pop your head out, and if a cat can't do that, then it's obviously not particularly fair on your cat. And basically, man, this is one of your loved ones. I know that they show their affection with the dead mice and birds, and yeah, but whether it's a moggy or a purebred, they still deserve to be treated appropriately.
Yeah, definitely. And it comes back to what you said, they're not, they obviously they are a lovely part of our life, but they're not an accessory. And they kind of deserve to be treated in the way that's best for them and their natural instincts rather than ours.
And how do they cope with being out on a lead? Because that's not really a cat's way either, is it?
Yeah, this is a real rising trend that we've been seeing again in the last 5 years or so. We don't really recommend taking a cat out on a lead because cats, something that's really important to them is having free choice to choose where they go. And if you put them on a harness and lead and take them out and about, they essentially lose that free choice. And, cats, when they're stressed, often their thing to do is hide or get up on a height. And if they're on a lead with you as their owner, they're not going to be able to do that. So their stress levels are likely to go through the roof.
Mm.
And again, that's another trend we've been really seeing on social media is more and more people promoting that. But that comes at a cost to cat welfare.
Yeah, and they're very different to dogs in that way, aren't they? You can't just say, well, it's okay for a dog. It's not, it's like squirrels. They like climbing trees, and dogs don't do that. So why would you expect a cat that might like climbing trees also to enjoy being on a lead?
Yeah, definitely. I always say to people, cats are not just small dogs. They have very different kind of natural histories, very different behaviors. So it's important to respect them as cats and do what's best for them.
Yeah, I mean, with cats and dogs, you got one that's a pack animal and another that's basically a predator, and
Yeah.
yeah, it is a whole different world, isn't it?
Yeah, totally different. Cats have evolved to live in the desert on their own, which means that they really want to keep themselves to themselves. They find it very confronting and stressful being around other cats or in busy places. That's kind of their worst nightmare, really.
Yeah, and then this is the reason why you have a cat flap and not a dog flap because this it is about them having that freedom and their lived experience and pop a little tracker on their neck. It'd be quite interesting. That's the only control you should maybe have over your cat in that way.
Yeah, yeah, it's an interesting one because we are again seeing a rise in those. But yeah, yeah, I mean, cats, they are very territorial. They like to have their freedom to choose. So yeah, I think it's about understanding, doing your homework, understanding cats, their natural history, what makes them happy, and respecting them as cats.
Yeah, and not trying to turn them into a lapdog.
Yeah, definitely.
So where can we go for more information on how to choose the right pet and, of course, maybe even adopting one?
Yeah, so I mean, of course, I'm here from Cats Protection. So we have a fantastic website at www.cats.org.uk, and there's loads of advice for people either thinking about getting a cat or if they've already got a cat there. But you could also go to your local veterinary practice, do your research and find a reputable behaviourist, and they could give you some really useful advice on what sort of cat might be suitable for you. And yeah, definitely, personally, I would always encourage people to consider adopting because, you know, Moggies make great pets as well, and sometimes adopting an adult cat, you kind of already know what their personality is like, so you can really understand what you're taking on.
Yeah, and somebody else has already suffered the scratchy bit at the start where they were getting to explore the world. Now they know they don't get fed if they misbehave.
Yeah, well, definitely, you know, you learn they have already made clear if they're a cuddly person, if they're an independent person, that kind of thing. So you have a much better idea. And from Cats Protection as well, all of our cats for adoption have had a full health check as well, which is a reassurance.
Yeah, you know where you are with them, and of course they're getting the life they then deserve, having unfortunately had to move away from a family they knew for a multitude of different reasons. It can be anything that could have caused it, but it's good to know that they'll then find themselves in a new forever home. Izzy Hocking, Senior Veterinary Engagement Manager at Cats Protection, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Jason. Have a nice day.
That's your lot for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Back with episode 885 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.